Hi, everyone. It's Lisa with Ink and Inspirations, and welcome to an early live on this Thursday afternoon, April the 11th, 2024. Thank you if you are joining us. If you can, say hello and let us know where you're watching from, and we'll get started here in just a minute. Got to see if I can get some eyeballs here watching, and we'll get started. Good morning, Pam. Thanks for tuning in. So, yes, we are here early because I have a friend coming over this afternoon during my usual live time to work on one of our kits from our kit collection. Anyway, I decided to go ahead and do this early rather than later. And thank you if you're here watching the live. And also, if you're here watching the replay, I appreciate you being here. So, today I wanted to highlight, hi Carol, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to highlight this Comforting Thoughts stamp set. Now, this set has many sentiments for when you just don't have the right words to say. And it actually has the sentiment, I don't have all the right words to say, because sometimes that's all there is to say, right? There is no good card for this. All right. Thinking of you, praying for you, hoping with you. So, just, I'm so sorry. You can do this. You're not alone. I wish I could make this better. Just a really good stamp set for those sentiments that you need when it's hard to find the words. So, I want to let you know that this Comforting Thoughts stamp set, and the link should be in the video description below, is only available in the online exclusives in the Stampin' Up! Online store. It's not in any catalog publication, but I really encourage you to check it out. Now, along with showing you some sentiments from this set, I also wanted to share a couple of scrap paper techniques, I guess I should say, for when you have just pieces of your pattern papers left, or maybe a long strip and you don't know what to do with it. You can make some really neat designs using those scraps. Okay. And so that's what we're going to do today. So thank you for tuning in, and let's get started. So the first card we're going to make is this one. Okay, so I know you probably recognize this paper. Let me get over here to. So this one is using I want to get it right, Forever Love Specialty paper. It is retiring, okay? And so I believe it's still available. It was the last time I looked. And while I'm on that subject, let me just remind you that Last Chance promotion in the online store has all the items that are still available that are retiring or being discontinued. If it's not in the store, then it is sold out. Okay. If it doesn't say currently unavailable, usually that means it's coming back. But if it's there, it's available. And it usually will say retiring soon underneath it. If it's not in the store and you can't find it, then it's already sold out. And there are quite a few things that are already sold out. So I'm going to encourage you not to wait if there's something you're wanting. So here I have You're Not Alone, and we're here for you. Okay, so let's get started with this one. I've already got most of the cutting done, but I'm using Very Vanilla, which we're saying goodbye to. And from what I can tell, this is, first of all, this is the thick Very Vanilla. It's already sold out. Okay. So, but if they still have the plain Very Vanilla, you might check that out if you're wanting to have some of that in your stash to create, because some of our designer papers have Very Vanilla as the neutral. And so if you still have some of those, you might want to get some Very Vanilla cardstock while it's still available. I'm going to go back to comments here. All right, get this off. So I decided to use this Very Vanilla base to go along with this, just to highlight it, and because I won't be able to use it from now on after it's gone. So wanted to share some more creations with it. Okay, so I cut it at 4 1/4 by 11, scored it at 5 1/2. Now, you can also do the same card if you'd rather have the book fold. You could go 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, score it at 4 1/4, and it's the same design. I like to do my cards on this tent fold because if I'm displaying or photographing them, it's much easier with this tent fold style. Okay, so let's go ahead and burnish this 5 1/2 inch score on this card. And then I'm going to show you that I decided to go with a pretty peacock since that's in the designer paper. And I'm using the distressed tile. I believe that's what it's called, distressed tile embossing folder. This is it. This one is carrying over. It's not retiring. Okay. So just a real pretty distressed design for the back. And we're going to work with that before we ever mount it on the card. Now, for this paper piecing technique, I have 1 1/2 inch squares, 6 of them. Now you could use different patterns on this, but I decided to use all the same pattern because I liked the continuity and the flow, and to me, it was just a little more elegant with all of the designs the same. You can do this however you'd like. You could make it almost like a patchwork quilt where you use different patterns from the same designer paper. You could do it with 3 of one pattern, 3 of another, 2, 2, and 2, however you'd like. This is just one way to do it. And so what I do here is I'm going to take my squares. I do not measure. Y'all know how I like to pretty much eyeball everything unless we're doing some cutting or scoring. But I just start putting these. I know it needs to be about 1/4 inch or so from the top and the same from the side. So I just kind of play with it. If your patterns have a directionality, this is where you want to be sure and be mindful of that when you're placing them down, because that's the way you're going to glue them. So I'm going to go here from the bottom about the same distance as the top. Okay, so I'm looking at it and I see this border is a little more wide. So I'm going to slide it over a bit and do the same thing with the top. Okay, so just giving probably about 1/8 of an inch space in between. And then I'm going to go for the middle. And this is where I usually have to do some adjusting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this down just a little bit and then pull these down. And then these, and try to line those up. Okay. So I'm liking how that looks. I think we've got a pretty much even space here, top to bottom, side to side. So let's go with this. So I'm double checking again. I'm sitting right now to craft, and so I may stand up and look from above rather than this side view. So let me stand a minute. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay. All right, so let me get my liquid glue, and I just start lifting them up one at a time and placing them down. I try not to get the glue too close to the edge so it won't squish out. Okay. So this designer paper is gorgeous. It has the foil and the gold foil and Moody Mauve prints with florals as well and other designs. But I am just partial to Pretty Peacock. How about you guys? I've just, I'm like an aqua, turquoise, peacock kind of girl. Love those colors. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Oh, goodness, Lisa. That's what I want to try not to happen. So let me get it back. Press it down. And really, this is the most time-consuming process of the whole card. It's a very simple, simply stamped card. Oh, you love both, Carol? Yeah, they're both beautiful. Yeah. I ought to try making one with the mauve too. I was so happy when they brought Pretty Peacock back, though. So happy. All right. So let me adjust that a little bit and get this one going. Okay. I think that's good. Okay, so I'm going to press down on that and let that glue get down in those grooves. Okay. And so next what we're going to do is take the 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. Hi, Diana. Yes, yes. We love these colors, right? Okay, so what am I doing? Not that one, Lisa. This one, 4 1/4. This is the base. That other one I'm using for the inside of the card. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this right over top. And I mean, this is the main part of this card, was piecing that on, trying to get our spacing good. But you see how it has that classy look? Okay, just all that same pattern, but yet interest because they're cut in squares. Now, these I cut 1.5 by 1.5, okay? On the sample card here, I used the Stylish Shapes dies in the next to the smallest square, I believe it was. Okay, or it might have been the smallest. Anyway, it measured 1.5 by 1.5. So I die cut those, but you can do that, or you can also just cut with your trimmer. Okay. Next, I have a 1/2 inch strip of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to stamp You're Not Alone. So I'm going to put this here, get my Pretty Peacock ink, ink this up, and I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat underneath to give some cushion there. And I'm just going to stamp, try to center it top to bottom there. There we go. And then I am just going to cut about 1/8 of an inch on each side of the sentiment. Okay. Okay, got that. And this is just going to be glued right here. And I'm going to kind of overhang the pattern paper a bit. Again, these sentiments are from the Comforting Thoughts stamp set that are available only in the online exclusives in the Stampin' Up! Online store. Okay, now let me go ahead and do the inside. I just have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to stamp We're Here for You. Stand up. Okay. And then I'm going to glue that on the inside. Now, if you prefer, you could just write on the inside of the card here or stamp your inside sentiment. But I like the look, this layered look. And you could really, dress it up a little more by doing a larger layer of the Pretty Peacock. But that's going to be making your card pretty thick. Okay, so be careful there for your mailing. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put this inside. Hey, Karen, thanks for tuning in. A little windy out there today, huh? All right, so now we have that, and I thought ribbon, gems. Okay, so I went with gems, no ribbon. And I'm using these Pretty Peacock and Petal Pink, which are part of this suite that this paper went with. And I used all of the large ones, and I went back and forth. You know, am I going to scatter them, or I'm going to put just some underneath the sentiment? And then I decided to do this. Put one in the center of each square. And normally I will do an odd number of gems, like 3 or 5. Okay. But for this, I thought, I think this works. I think it's pleasing to the eye, and it just kind of finishes it off. So there is our first card, and I'm going to show you another sample that I made. Totally different look. You see how those little gems are in the minute? Thank you, Karen. So yeah. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, it is, and it's so easy and a great way to use those scraps, right? Okay, I'm going to kind of clear off what I'm using for this card, and let me show you another one that I made. I used the Lighter Than Air Designer Series paper. I cut the 1.5 inch squares, the truck from Trunking Along, and I just used a strip. This is Sending You Sunny Thoughts is from the Trucking Along stamp set, but the technique is there. And I want to show you, this really threw me off. I thought, oh, this is much higher than this one, but it's not. This just has that, what color is that? Coastal Cabana or Pool Party strip that's at the top, and it's even with the white at the top. Okay. So it's kind of an optical illusion. It looks like I put this square a little bit higher, but it's not. It's got this little stripe up there. Okay. So yeah. So this has that, what is that? Oops. Oh, painted texture embossing folder for that one. And the disc, the iridescent disc, which I just realized last night that these are carrying over. They're not retiring. They were in the holiday catalog. So anyway, 2 different looks, but the same technique. Okay. And this one I added, you know, an image and the circle back, but so easy to do. Okay, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. Just take something you like and then just remake it. All right. Okay, and so I will say right now, be sure you leave, if you're watching, you leave a comment. To probably tomorrow I will do a drawing to send a card to someone that I'm making. Okay, I'll probably send 2 since I'm making 2 cards. So be sure you leave a comment. Okay. And if you're on YouTube and you're not, be sure you subscribe to my channel and click the like button. Sound like my little Mia when she was making the video for me. Okay. Let's get going on our next card. Okay. Let me get my stuff out. I'm glad y'all like that card. I mean, I just thought, oh, that is so pretty with that paper, all the same pattern. And if you'll notice, let me get that other card back. What do I do with it? Even though this is the same print, the same pattern, it looks different because the stripes are not matching. Okay. I did that on purpose. Just wanted to see how it would look. Okay. So here is our next card. Oh, I love these strips. This strip technique is so easy and so fun, right? Okay, so we've worked with strips of 4. These are 1/2 inch and just a partial covering, but oh, y'all, that big stack of paper, Delightfully Eclectic, that's what this came from. It's retiring, but it's a great stack of paper, and I think it's still available. So I just cut strips of however long it was. They only need to be a 1/2 inch wide and then 5 or 6 inch, at least 5 or 6 inches long. Okay. But my strip of paper was longer. So I thought I'm not going to cut it again. I'm just, because I'm going to end up trimming it anyway. Okay. So I just cut the strips. And now let me tell you what I went through in picking these patterns. So first I tried 5 different patterns, okay, from the same designer paper. It drove me crazy. It was too many patterns for me, especially from this paper. Okay, so let me flip. So see, there's a stripe, and what's on the back of this one? That, it was like, and then there were some geometric, and this would be fine. Okay, I could deal this with one floral, but just playing with it, I decided to go with the 2 florals. Okay, so I cut 3 of the one that I wanted the predominating color, and then 2 of the lighter or less dominating, the subtle strips. Okay, so let me just show you something here. Like, I thought I'm probably going to be making some more of these cards with these strips, but this is from the Just Kidding Around paper, or whatever this is called. Y'all know what I'm talking about, with the little kids on it. And I liked these 2 pinks together, and I think they would make good. But see how I had this strip with this cut out, and then I had this strip. So what I'm going to do is I line it up with the 1/2 inch on the right hand side of the track. And then I just use that. So these will be, I'll need 2 of these. Okay, see how easy that is to cut on that side? And then I'll need 3 of these. This would be the predominating color. So I'll try to make one of these and get it up sometime, maybe this weekend. So I'm just cutting, even though I have this piece cut out down here. Slicing 3. Okay. And so then I have these that I can use, and these. And I think that'll make a pretty card. All right. Yeah, Diana, it's fun. And it's a great way to use your paper. Okay, so I started off with a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of bubble bath. Put this up here so I can see it. Okay, scored at 5 1/2 again. Okay, give it a good burnish. Hi, Linda. Okay, and then I have another piece of bubble bath. I'm doing just the same color cardstock for my bottom layer as well as my base. Okay, it just gives it a little dimension. Okay, you can pop it up if you want to with dimensionals. I'm not going to. Okay, we're going to work with this piece first. So I'm going to set this aside. Oh, I'm going to need that. Okay, 4 by 5 1/4 there. So here we go. And then after making several of these, I found the easiest way to do it is to start with your top strip. I was starting with the middle, and then I ended up having to adjust them all. So to keep it pretty even and in the center, I start with, my predominant color, or my predominant strip or pattern. I say predominant, my dominant. And I came down about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, maybe, from the top. Okay, at that angle. Okay, and so then I'm going to come with the next one. And I have to adjust, but that gave me a good start. So I'm looking at this, and it's already going to be too close to the bottom. So I need to come up closer to the top. And also angle it differently. You see how I'm pulling it up a little bit? Because you're trying to get this space and this space down here as close to the same as you can, okay? Let's see how I'm doing with this one. And I might have to shift it a bit. So I'm going to shift the angle a little bit more. That's all you have to do, okay? Shift the angle of it. Okay, so it's a little short down here, so I'm going to shift the angle a little bit, and there you go. Y'all see how I did that? Start at the top, start where you think it needs to be, and then start layering them, and then just kind of, if you're wanting this and this to be about the same, which gives that good balance to your card, just shift the angle a little bit, okay, like I did there. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to glue these on one at a time. And what I do is I take my fingers and hold these down, pull this one up. Should have opened my glue, but I can do it one-handed. And put a little strip of glue right here. Okay. And what I like about leaving it extra long is that once you get it down, it's okay. You're going to trim off all that excess and you're going to be good. Okay. All right. So next, I'm going to hold these three down without moving them. Lift up that piece. And come in with this one. Oops. It's okay. I got that extra on both ends, so if it shifts a little bit, you're still good. Okay. I'll lift this one up, hold those top two down. Little bead of glue and come back in. Okay, now we have these two more. So I'm holding just the top one, pulling it up, glue, strip. And then our last one. So see, easy, right? Okay, let's press down on that. Let's see, we could shift a little bit. And if you have a little space in between, it's okay. But that's the beauty of using the liquid glue. Like I saw a little space there, I was able to shift it a little bit. And see, I'm liking what I have left at the top and the bottom there. Okay, then we're going to flip it over. And we're going to trim all these tails off. Okay. Just slide your snips along the edge of the cardstock layer. Okay. Isn't that cool? I love that look. Okay, so now we're going to do our stamping. And I ended up cutting deckled circles. I cut an extra one in case I messed up on my stamping. This is the next to the smallest deckled circle. Double make sure I'm not telling you wrong. And I think these are in the online exclusives as well. Tons of circles. This is a great circle die set. So yeah, no, I didn't use the little one. I used the second one, and then the third one for the navy, and then the basic white circle. Okay. And I'm going to move in my matte here. Now, for this sentiment, I chose from Comforting Thoughts, thinking of you, praying for you, hoping with you. I wanted it to just say thinking of you and praying for you. Okay. Thanks, Karen. So what I did is I have this stamp, thinking of you, praying for you, hoping with you. And I took a Post-it and I covered up the hoping with you. I just wanted it to say those first two. Thanks, Pam. And so when you put let me see if I can get that where you can see it. The Post-it, you try not to cut off any of the letters above it, okay? You want it to be just right below it and not have any of the top of the other line, okay? So you make sure that's stuck on there nicely. And we're getting our Night of Navy ink, and we're going to ink it up. Now, here's the important part. Pull this baby off. Okay, throw it away. And now you're ready to stamp. Stand up. I hope I got that inked enough. I can't see this white on white where my center is, so let's do that. And there we go. Okay, I got just what I wanted on there. No other ink. You just have to remember to pull that Post-it off when you stamp, okay? All right, so now I've got some bubble bath ribbon. I don't need that. We're going to glue these two layers together. Like that, okay? Then I'm going to get some scrap paper back in here. I'm going to put this down. And I want, this is the ribbon, this is Retiring from the annual catalog. It's the one, this trio of ribbon that has Azure Afternoon, Bubble Bath, and Lemon Lolly. What's it called? Sheer Ribbon Combo Pack. So I'm going to take this and kind of fold it in half, but make it have two tails like that, okay? And then I'm going to put, I want it to be like this, okay? So I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal Plus on the back of this. You could use glue dots, or this was just easier for me and I didn't have to wait for it to dry. Then I'm going to adhere that. Okay, pull that up, Lisa. Okay, I want it to be separated here, okay? So let's see. And give it a good press. See how that's holding that down? Okay, and then I'm going to add a little more. This is where you could use whatever adhesive you want, but since I have this already going. And if you want to pop it up with dimensionals, this is where you would put those. And then put it right here, just like that. Okay, so now let's see. I am going to dig some scraps. Oh no, I don't have to, I already did it. Okay, so I used another strip on a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white, and this is going to go on the inside. And I'm not putting a sentiment. I was going to say an intimate, a sentiment on the inside. Okay, so where's my base? There it is. So that's just going to go here where I can write my message. Again, that's just another 1/2 inch strip that I snipped it off and cut it the 5 1/4. 1/2 by 5 1/4 is what you would need. And then this is going to go just right over top. Isn't that pretty? I just love those strips. And you know, when you the biggest decision is like, which patterns do I use? And then once I cut it down to what I thought, okay, this is going to be better with just 2 patterns, alternating them, pick my favorite and use the 3 of that one. Okay, so there's our card. Now, on this one, I put some pearls. Thank you, Karen. And I'm going to leave them off of this one. Okay, see, I just use, these are the festive pearls. Okay, those are retiring. And I use the silver ones, but I think I'm going to leave them off of this one. Okay. All right, so let me show you the other card. Oh, goodness, that's a loud truck going by. Goodness. All right. Here's another one I made with the Let's Go Fishing paper that is retiring, that I ordered some more from. Hey, Serena. Thank you for watching. So this is a card for my son-in-law. And I thought I'm going to go ahead and use it. And I used the 3 strips there. I used like the water pattern and then the flies. And then I just cut this rainbow trout from the designer paper. Okay. Backed it with some more Misty Moonlight to make it stand out a little bit. And up here, I haven't told Jackie yet, but I want to do a fly, you know, that they fish with. And put that right here at the top. Okay, maybe attach it with a glue dot, something he can use. Okay, then on the inside, I just use a strip of another pattern of that paper. Okay. Okay, well, here are our 3 cards. No, well, 4. Let me get the other one. Two different paper piecing techniques. You know, 4 samples for you to look at. You can use whatever designer paper that you really like and just go for it. Use it up. You know, you have it. I mean, I have stashes of it. I know you do too. Thank you, Serena. Thanks. I really like this too. I thought, you know what? I need to make one. I needed a birthday card. His birthday's coming up in May. I thought I'm just going to use that. Now, I did pop up the fish on dimensionals. Okay. So anyway, let me see if I can get back up here. So, okay, thank you all for watching. If I can help you with anything, let me know. If you are not on my mailing list, be sure you are there. You can sign up at this link and it will, I send emails every week with project ideas or tips and just good information that you need in a timely fashion. And so go over to that link and sign up for my email list and let's stay connected. Okay. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Y'all have a great day. I'm Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, inspiring you to create, share, and make a difference. Have a good one. Bye-bye.